to Street Talker with Nancy Tansy Busher. Here you will meet artisans from Florida's Gulf Coast and learn about their art. We include their contact information so you may contact them. For a complete list of links, go to artistkaleidoscope.us. Thank you. This is Mark James, and he's going to tell us a little bit about himself.
I am a born and raised Floridian. I've lived in Punta Gorda for the last 33 years, and I teach marine science at Charlotte High School. I've taught there for 33 years. I've coached a little bit of everything, and writing has just been fun, and kind of fell into it and liked it. So I've continued on. I've got 2 books out, and I'm a little more than halfway done with the 3rd one, actually.
So mechanized warfare, that must be you?
No, I'm one over. I'm fishing with dynamite.
Fishing with dynamite. Tell us about that.
Well, that's my 2nd book. My first book's called You Never Know, and Fishing with Dynamite is kind of a companion piece to it. You don't have to have read one to read the other one. It's just a kind of a romp. I've got quirky characters that do rather strange things. The gist of Fishing with Dynamite is that's kind of an adventure thrown in with a lot of humor. I've got, I guess, one of the characters that stands out. She was actually supposed to be a throwaway character in the first book and kind of caught on a little bit. She gets a job as a greeter at a Walmart type store. Mm-hmm. They didn't interview her nor read her resume. Friend of a friend hired her, and she has Tourette's. Doesn't work out too well as her being a greeter. Silly stuff like that. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun.
Cute. Is this one of the 1,001 ways you can die?
I don't know. I know that the guy in the book apparently blew himself up fishing with dynamite, so that's kind of the hub of the story.
So it is a possibility.
Oh, yeah. My wife actually had an uncle that blew himself up fishing with dynamite a long time ago. Apparently, I don't know, way before I knew her, but that's her family story. So.
Now, where can your books be found?
Sandman bookstore, obviously. Several of the local independent stores in town.
In town being Punta Gorda?
In Punta Gorda, yeah. I've got them on Sanibel, Port St. Joe, Panama City, and they're in a lot of local independent bookstores.
Okay. And you have a website?
I do not have a website for the books or anything, but they're available through places you don't want to mention.
What, Amazon.com?
Yeah.
Booksamillion.com?
Amazon, and then also in Kindle. The second book's on Kindle.
Kindle's good.
But we'd rather you come here to this bookstore while we're here.
Well, yes. Because this program runs 24/7 worldwide, I always like to mention the town.
Sure.
But then people know that this particular program is pretty much the Gulf Coast of Florida.
Well, and again, most of my books actually take place in the Punta Gorda, Fort Myers, Sanibel area.
For listeners, if you would like to, in your mind, take a vacation to Florida, they might read your books.
And they'll get quite a view of Florida, yes. It's maybe not one the Chamber of Commerce would like you to hear. It's a fun romp anyway.
Or a fun book, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. It's a beach read, pool read kind of thing. You can a couple days of mindlessness is always fun. So
and they make wonderful gifts.
Oh yeah, we do pretty well this time of year. So.
Well, thank you, Mark.
Thank you for having me on.
We're talking now to Michelle Sharp.
Yes, my book is entitled Adventures of a Once Reluctant Sailor, A Journey of Guts, Growth, and Grace. It's about our first cruise, our first sailing cruise. It was a 5,000-mile trip from Bayfield, Wisconsin, through the Great Lakes and the St. Lawrence Seaway down the east coast to Punta Gorda.
Oh my gosh, and I know that was a learning experience.
It was a learning experience, and I didn't start the trip as a sailor, but by the end of the trip I was.
Yeah, you either become one or you drown.
Or you jump ship.
Or jump ship.
Yeah. And I kept that as an option for myself to fly home if things got a little bit too miserable. It worked out well. And it was really, when you step out of your comfort zone, it goes well. You learn a lot along the way, and challenging yourself in ways that you never thought you would. It's really powerful.
Yes.
To come through that.
Yes, and be able to stand on the other side and look back and say, that wasn't so bad.
And I can't believe I did that.
Exactly. Tell us where your books can be found.
The books can be found at Sandman Books in Punta Gorda and at Copperfish Books in Punta Gorda, Excelsior Books in Excelsior, Minnesota, Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and any bookstore can order it.
Okay. And do you have a website?
Yes, it's reluctantsailor.net.
Well, thank you very much, Michelle. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Nancy.
Christian Birch is our next author.
My third one just came out. It's called Evil. It's a sci-fi horror thriller that takes place in Virginia. A creature gets out of a lab and makes its way to a town, decides to satisfy its one urge, which is food. When the townspeople realize what's going on, the army comes in to try to take advantage of it and focuses on the three characters who have to try to stop this creature before it moves on to the next town.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. You have just the one book.
No, that's my third one. That's actually my third one. Started writing in 2009. That's my latest one. My second one is The Mirror, and my first one was called Speeder.
Would you give us some contact information?
Yes, you can find me at my website, www.cabirch.com, and my email is christian@cabirch.com for comments and info on book signings and things like that, and also at www.facebook.com/author Christian Birch.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trey Olson. And he is the illustrator of
Evil by Christian Birch. Yeah, he came to me after the book was almost complete. We're family friends. He saw my artwork and he just picked me up immediately and wanted to get me started. So here I am.
So here you are. How long did it take you to do the artwork?
Well, it was planning, took a good portion of it, and actually doing it. There was a lot of testing involved of how I wanted to exactly have it done, and we had to keep redoing it to make sure it fit the cover and stuff like that. So overall, it took a month, 2 months, somewhere in between there.
That's not bad. I write children's books, and I illustrate children's books. We're talking a whole different world. The first book I had done by a friend, because I wanted several out in 1 year, and you cannot do it all. Took her a year and a half to do the 25 paintings that went into it. What was the best part? What was the most fun in this project?
I think putting a picture to the story was just absolutely incredible. Just to see how you can really make it come to life was really cool. It was just fun. The entire situation was fun just to see it grow.
Do you think you would do this again for somebody that's not necessarily a family friend?
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely do it again. I enjoyed it so much.
Okay, Trey, so now it's time for you to give me some contact information.
You can reach me at trey.s@patrolpro.net or at trey@brotherphotography.net as well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Tell me your name.
Tyler
Tyler what?
Franklin,
Tyler Franklin. And what school do you go to?
Hancock Creek Elementary,
I see. And what grade?
5th.
Fifth grade. Tell me about your award.
All of our school had a competition, and I think 13 out of about 1,000 people won, and they got their bookmark published.
I see. And so you have a published bookmark now. Do you have a copy of that by any chance?
No.
Do you know where I might find a copy?
North Fort Myers Library.
Do you have one at home? Do you?
Yes.
Maybe you could email it to me.
Okay.
Okay? Is it all right if I take your picture? Okay. Do you have a website?
No.
Great, thank you. We're speaking to Karen Ross.
Hi, thank you. My book is called Chianti Souls. It's a love story, a light romance that's primarily set in Italy. The book was inspired by my passion for the country. I visited it many times. Got under my skin enough that I decided to write about it. Had a great time writing it, especially doing research in Italy. It was just published in September, so I'm trying to spread the word. For anyone who's a fan of Italy, it will warm one's heart and feel like they've gone back.
It's like a vacation for less than $20.
That's a good way to put it, right.
If you will, give us some of your contact information.
I have a Facebook page, Chianti Souls, email chianti.souls@yahoo.com. Goodreads is another great place to find information and reviews about my book, and it's sold on Amazon, also in Barnes & Noble as an ebook.
Oh, as an ebook too. Oh, what a good idea. Is there anything else coming up?
I'm really excited talking to a company that does tours of Italy, and they're looking at co-promoting my book.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Yes, very good. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ed Higgins, the author of Paddles in Paradise. Can you tell us a little about your books?
We live here locally 6 years. We started kayaking when we moved down here. We discovered these beautiful hidden spots that nobody really appreciates, and we decided to write a book about all the different places that we've kayaked. This first book, Paddles in Paradise, has 25 paddles that are really nice recreational paddles, easy that anybody can do. We're working on our second book, More Paddles in Paradise, because my wife and I keep on exploring and finding new places. Each book has pictures from the particular paddle. It has a map, a trail map of the paddle to tell you where to go. It has directions on how to get there and where to launch, which way to go after you launch, and what facilities are at the location as well.
What range would you say, what locale does this cover?
This covers from Punta Gorda within a 3-hour radius of Punta Gorda, Florida, all the way up to Ocala down to the Everglades, within 3 hours radius of Punta Gorda.
What a fun week that would be, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Does it tell where you can rent?
Yes, if there are rentals available at any of these locations, we mention that in there, and we give you the address, the phone number, and the website of any rental companies.
That should bring some people down to the Gulf Coast of Florida, shouldn't it?
We hope so.
It should. Where are your books located?
They're available on Amazon. They're available here at Sandman. They're available at Coppersmith downtown in Punta Gorda.
In Punta Gorda?
Copperfish Books. And also at various outfitters in the area.
What would an outfitter be?
Places that rent, sell kayaks and canoes, or that have launch sites where they charge you to launch and so forth. We're in about a dozen places all around in the area.
And do you have a website?
I do. It's www.paddlesinparadise.com.
Thank you so much, Ed.
Thanks.
This has been Street Talker with Nancy Tansy Busher. Please join us again as we meet artists, authors, and craftsmen from Florida's Gulf Coast. You may also visit Artist Kaleidoscope, where we talk with artisans about their life, work, and art. All links are listed on our website, artistkaleidoscope.us. Thank you.